Hello, hello, hello. My name is River. I live in a tiny yurt off-grid in the Pacific Northwest with my dog, Romeo. And I'm fixing up an abandoned cabin on the property to be extra living space, my art studio. Eventually I'm going to move my yurt over here and all kind of be one thing, but so far I've basically just been cleaning the cabin. You can watch the previous episodes to see where it was at where I started. I moved my kitchen in here, and this week I get to do some fun stuff. I get to paint and I get to put up artwork, or rather I get to start painting today, and there will be artwork and curtains up by the end of this video in the next couple days. Last night, I took the covers off of the futon couch mattress thing that's in there, laid the futon pads, mattress pads, whatever you want to call it, out to air out on the porch since it was a rare dry night last night, and I used linseed oil to clean the whole futon couch wooden structure, which has like secret side tables and is just really nice piece of furniture. So I'm excited to put that back together today. So far when I've been in the cabin, I've only hung out at the table because that was clean. The futon was covered in mouse poop. I haven't even sat on it yet, which is like the most comfortable furniture in here. So that'll be great. And then I'm going to start painting. There's only about 30 minutes before it's full dark. Unfortunately, I work nights, so I woke up at like noon today and then I went to the store in town, which is a whole hour of driving, and then by the time I'm back, there's only a little bit of time before it's dark, but it's okay. I don't mind painting in the dark. So I'm going to put futon back together, and then I'm going to change into my painting clothes, and we will get into the fun part. Yeah! By the end of this, the front room of the cabin should be feeling cozy and homey, and I can also start moving decorations in there, which is exciting. I actually feel like the cleaning effect of letting it outside to air out was kind of negated by the amount of dust and dirt that I've gotten on the edges, hauling it back in and out. This is definitely something that I maybe should have gotten somebody to help me with, but that just felt kind of silly at the time. Okay. Yeah, last night I figured out that it has these cool little like side tables that you can have up or down. I'll leave them down for now, but it's definitely cool to see that. Definitely going to try sleeping on this at some point. I'm really happy with how good of condition the cushions are and with how much cleaner it feels with the covers double washed on hot with extra soap, double rinsed as well. I do feel like I'm wrestling an alligator a little bit right now. Before I change and start painting, I'm just going to wipe off the walls, try to get any dirt and spider webs off of there with paper towels and a little cleaning solution. It's just drywall. I don't really know what happened to this area up here, but it's really nasty. Probably should have gotten some kind of scraper. Might try using a kitchen tool. Oh, okay. Oops. This is one of those things where the drywall is just messed up. And I'm just going to put white paint on it and it's going to look better. If there's a good, better, best, I'm going for good. Painting mode activated. I know that the lighting just like sucks because I'm painting in the dark with like one lamp, but yeah, I really want to get just this wall done behind me so it can dry overnight, and then tomorrow I'll do the other wall, but then I can put up art on this back wall, which is the main wall that I want art on. I mean, I'm gonna do art on all the walls, but it's just like the most blank wall, so it's gonna make the biggest difference to put the art there, and then I can move the futon back and all of that. So I'm gonna start taping and then painting. And yeah, I'm listening to Dan Carlin's new Hardcore History Addendum. If you're a podcast person, a history person, and you haven't heard of him, that's wild, but definitely check him out. If you're curious, by the way, this is a propane lamp or a gas lamp. The house used to be hooked up to gas for lighting. That's never going to be the case again. If anything, it'll be hooked up to solar in the future. But yeah, so if you see, there's also like some outlets around and some lights. And there's even like a phone that used to be wired in. Yeah, the house was originally on gas, and then the guy who used it as a hunting cabin, he ran a generator whenever he was here. I'm not going to do any of those things for environmental reasons, but also for cost reasons. I'm just like gonna leave this because I do think it's cute. Yeah, even though it doesn't work. Okay, let's try to not make a giant mess, but I might repaint the floor at some point, so I'm not too stressed about it.
Daylight comes, never made it home. Light on my feet, never on my own. One look can tell you I'm an alien, talking to the stars like they're my friends. Daylight comes, never made it home. Light on my feet, never on my own. One look can tell you I'm an alien, talking to the stars like they're my friends. Like they're my friends. They're my friends.
Horrible lighting, battery's about to die, but I finished this wall. Even in the dark, it looks really good, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hello, it is the next day, and the first coat of paint looks really good. I wasn't planning to do 2 coats, but looking at it in the light, it definitely needs it. Let's go take a look. The wall looks so much better. I also really like that I decided to paint inside the cabinet over here. I think I'm gonna do it on the other side as well. And I might even paint the back of this to kind of like create more of a visual line. I will be putting stuff in the shelf. But yeah, I'm super happy with this. The area above the door definitely looks a little scudsy, but it looks way better than it did before. And I think after the second coat, it will be even better. My plan is to get right in there and put on the second coat. I want to paint the behind the shelves in the kitchen. There's just like a lot that I need to paint that has stuff in front of it on the other side of the wall. But we're gonna get to the second coat over here first. My son understands the assignment, which is that he is meant to snuggle up here. I've had the wood stove going for over an hour, and it's quite a comfortable temperature in here, which I appreciate. And if you didn't notice, it is a beautiful day. Absolutely gorgeous, super sunny, and I am deeply enjoying that as well. It's giving me a lot of energy. I did get some of the white paint on the floor, not that much, but I want your all's opinion. Should I paint the floor white, or should I do another coat of this kind of like wood colored paint that they have over it originally? Let me know what you think. Or a different color. I could be wild and paint the floor green or something. I really have to finish all of this painting today. I have one roller and I want to use it to do all of this before it dries. My camera keeps dying because I'm doing these really long shots to montage, but I think if there's kind of like only so much montaging of me painting something white that's going to be interesting anyway. So I just cleaned and prepped this wall back here and moved all the furniture out of the way. I'm just gonna paint it and meet up with you afterward. I still have like a lot of decorating to do, and my videos are always too long, so I think that's enough watching me paint for now. I don't know if you can really tell, but this part of the wall I have not painted yet. This part of the wall I have. And from where I'm at, Wow, I don't really know if you can tell. The warmth that's in the white that I chose, like, really just brightens this up. Like, obviously it's also less stained, but it really just has a nice warmth to it that goes with the warmth in the wood. Whereas the original white feels just very dingy and cool. I did find out that yesterday, it looks like I got paint kind of all over the side of the shelf, which is a bummer. I think that it's not that big of a deal though, because this is just wood with no stain on it, so I can just use paint remover to fix that. All right, this is the before. Okay, I ended up painting inside of the shelving, which I think does kind of like lighten and brighten it up, even though it kind of has a weird continuity with like where the baseboards are. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. I know it's probably hard to even tell the difference right now, but I will, you know, come back in the daylight for sure. Now I need to do the wall that is connected, that's like the kitchen area, which is not very much space to paint, but it is gonna be a pain in the butt because I need to move everything out of the shelves. I want to repaint the shelves white, and I am going to open up. Oh, do I even have a bottle opener? Usually I have one on my keychain. I want to open this bottle of Martinelli's. Oh! Cheers. Yeah, it's good. I think this is the sugar I need to get me through the next part of the project, especially since the sun's going down. I don't have the energy of the sunlight coming in anymore. What's gonna make the biggest difference on the kitchen side is painting the windows, or the window, but I really want to like properly strip the old paint before I repaint it. Okay, I'm gonna get some shit done and I'll be back. I am done for the day. My wrist hurts. I'm tired, but I did all the walls, and I'll show you tomorrow in the daylight. Hello, I ended up crashing in the cabin last night. Basically, I just made a ton of food. I made a ton of like Thai peanut sauce inspired noodles with tuna. Tuna's gonna be an ongoing cooking theme on this channel for sure. And yeah, I ate like half of it and I was like, I know I'm gonna be hungry in like 2 hours. This was at like 8 p.m. I was like, I know that at like 10 p.m. I'm gonna be hungry again, and I already have a fire going on in here. So I'm just gonna commit to crashing in here, and then I can eat the rest of this food in a couple hours. And it was glorious. I have like a duvet cover that I already got for here. The futon was comfortable enough. I think that the main thing that was uncomfortable about it is that I really need more than one pillow, and I only have one pillow. I'm like a 2-pillow person. My back is really sensitive to sleeping on weird surfaces, and the back part of the futon where my head is like slightly less high. I really need my head to be elevated, but other than that, the futon is pretty comfortable. And it was nice to just get another fire going as soon as I woke up. It's definitely not hot in here yet, even though the fire's been going for over an hour, but it is like a good temp. And I made coffee, which is great, so I'm already caffeinated. And part of why I slept here too was that I have to go to work in the afternoon, and I knew that if I woke up in here, because there's windows, I would wake up earlier because of the light. The yurt really helps me sleep because it has no light until I open the door. But I wanted to wake up early today and just get right back into work. My regular camera is still on the charger at the chicken coop, about like a 5-minute walk away. So at some point I need to get up and go get that because I don't want to just keep filming on my phone. I hate filming on my phone. But yeah, I just wanted to give the update on that. I'm gonna keep just like chilling in bed with my coffee and the fire going for a while, and then I'll go get the camera. And then the plan for today, and I think I can knock this out before I have to go to work, is to put up all of the artwork. I got picture hanging kit stuff, and I also want to mop the floor. The floor or I got Pine Sol to disinfect and clean the floors with. And also I do like the Pine Sol smell. There's not a lot of like cleaners that I like the smell of. I'm very sensitive to artificial smells, but I do like the Pine Sol smell. And it's actually smelling like the best that it ever has in here, especially like after cooking, having some more fires, but having disinfecting and cleaning the floor is gonna be good. Romeo, we're gonna have a little bit more of a lie-in. Overall, pretty cozy waking up here. There's definitely some like old house sounds, but pretty dang quiet over here in general, just like the yurt, which is great. I didn't hear any mice at night, which is good. It is such a beautiful, sunny, cold, clear morning. It's beautiful. Walking back to my yurt, I feel a little bit like I'm doing a walk of shame back to a partner who's still sleeping after going out with someone else. No, for real though, I'm like, I can't leave the yurt that many nights in a row. Really no more than like 2 max, which I try to just use for work trips because it's got to stay dried out. And the best way to do that is to have fires inside. I love coming back to my little camp though. It definitely feels like home. Oh, I love how cold and crisp it is right now. What do you think, buddy? That's the cabin over there. I'm so happy that I woke up early, even though I didn't really sleep that well, so I can actually make some progress here. Let's go. Where I did the tape over here, it grabbed onto the drywall and pulled that off, so I'm gonna need to just freehand paint over that. This is the secondhand duvet cover that I got off of eBay for like 15 bucks. It's linen. I would like to eventually thrift vintage or just secondhand brass curtain rod for over the door, but I did just grab one, a cheap one, when I was at Goodwill because I think it's pretty important that I start covering up the door so that I'm not, or the doorway to the second room, so that I'm retaining more heat in here. There's a lot of heat loss going to heating up both rooms when I'm not even in the other room. I'm realizing that I don't have a power drill, so I don't know if I can actually install this without going to borrow one. I decided that I only want to use gold fixtures in here. My art is either in a gold frame or a black frame, but I don't really like black furniture, and the wood in here is very warm colored, so I thought that I would match that by doing gold. They didn't have like brass at Home Crapo. I just texted Jai and asked him if I can just borrow his power drill. That seems like the best way to go. I'm gonna try to put up some art. I just want the curtain rod to be up so that I can like see how that affects the symmetricalness and the space on the walls, but I'll try to work around the other areas till I hear back from him. I went to Denali 2 years ago and had a crazy misadventure there. I am gonna re-upload that video to be for Patreon only. I took it down along with all my other old videos. You're gonna see that I'm very wabi-sabi with the way I put up artwork. I probably should measure and stuff, but that's not really gonna happen. Okay, what if this is like here? Then I also have to imagine the curtains coming to like here. Maybe I should have scooted everything over. I don't know, I'm thinking that maybe putting the gold frame artwork on that main wall was a mistake because, I don't know, like it's too light. Let me take this duvet cover off too because it's not super aesthetic. Feels like what I need for the space is like 2 more landscape shaped. Oh god, I'm like covered in wood dust. All of these gold framed paintings are by Ray Munoz, who is a Alaskan painter. Before she was kind of like famous or successful, she would come out and visit where I, as a little kid, and my grandparents lived on an island in Alaska and would paint in exchange for staying there. My Nana bought these paintings. She did a custom painting of my dad that I think my parents have in exchange for staying there. But yeah, my Nana is like a big patron of the arts. I don't know if she thinks of herself that way, but when she lived in Alaska, she bought a lot of really cool Alaskan art. And when she downsized to a retirement home, I got a lot of it. These paintings mean a lot to me. Okay, I'm happy with this. It's definitely not like final form ready, but I think it looks good considering like what space we have and what's going on. I like that there's like some blue in this painting. There's a little bit of blue here, a little bit of blue in here to tie into the blue couch. There's a lot of soft green, which I want to like repeat more, especially through fabric throughout this room. And I really like that these paintings have a lot of soft kind of orange in them, which is definitely coming out in the wood, but also something that I want to put more of in the cabin intentionally through fabric when I make curtains and stuff. More holes in the wall. Yeah, I like my wall to have a lot of holes. I don't really love this gallery wall. I think that the sativa poster needs to like go up, maybe in. I'm working with a lot of weird constraints because there's like this bar and then there's this hook stuck in the wall. I have to go to work soon, so I think I'm gonna sweep and mop. I've been heating up water on the stove to do a hot mop, and I really want it to like dry while I'm at work, so that's kind of the priority right now. Okay, that is done. I need to hustle to get to work on time, but I'm really happy that can dry while I'm gone because obviously, I used a little bit too much water and too much soap, but I'd rather be on the side of a sloppy, wet, hot mop than a not enough mop. I will see you either tomorrow or in a couple days because I don't get off work until like 10 or 11, so I'm definitely not gonna be doing any more work tonight, probably not even coming back. Actually, for sure not coming back to the cabin tonight. I'll just go straight to the yurt. Okay, bye. Are you ready to go to work, buddy? I think I fixed this wall, at least as much as it can be fixed. I feel like whatever I did here is looking a lot better. I just brought my drill over and I'm going to try to put up the curtain. I thought that I didn't have a working drill in the sense that my ex-husband lost the charger and the set of drill bits, but I just took it out of my storage container, which by that I mean a toolbox. I don't have like a storage container. Wrong word. Anyway, I just took it out. It still has charge and it has the right drill bit in it. So that's good. Should probably do some measuring for this. Nice. 4 inches over, 3 inches up. There's a stud here still. Ugh. Just putting holes in the wall for no reason. What we do here. Oh shit. Oh, it went in at an angle. Oh god. Ah. Why is everything so hard for me? It should not be hard right now. Okay. Okay. That's in. Booyah. Went all the way into the wall. Fun. Awesome. Ah! I need some needle nose pliers probably to pull this out. I'm so frustrated right now. I'm just gonna put in new holes where it's going to go into the wood. So close enough for that, which is not the look that I wanted at all, but I want to put these damn curtains up. I just tried attaching these ring things that I got, but I didn't realize that they had clips at the end. I thought that they were just like detachable rings, and it was kind of making it look like a shower curtain. So I'm going to take these off and try to attach it directly. So I have 2 curtains, and I thought it would be cute to put them together, but unfortunately, even though this stripy one is way cuter, I might take that one off. I did remember that the other room is a step down, so when I push the bottom of it through the door, it's not touching the ground anymore, but it kind of stays that way. It's kind of weird. I definitely think I should hem it But also, like I said, I'm probably going to just make a custom curtain for it that's more colorful. So I think that this is okay for now. I definitely think my original idea of having the curtain rods go out more would have been better. There's kind of like a gap here. And if it came out further, there wouldn't be as much of a gap. And visually, it would be a little bit more interesting. But I really just wanted to stop losing heat into the other room as soon as possible. So I'm fine with this. Since I last filmed, it's actually been about a week, and I've basically been having really intense mouse issues, not only at the cabin, but at the yurt too, which is super frustrating. And I've been taking steps to deal with that. And I was adding that on to this video because I wanted this video to end with the front room being fully decorated, but it's basically just become its own project. So I'm going to make another video about me dealing with the mouse issues, and then there'll be another video where I finish decorating this room because there's a lot of decorating left to do. And it's just gonna have to be, you know, a good ending that I painted the walls and put up art, which is a lot of work. It was a lot of work. It took me like 2 weeks to do that by itself. And I want to get you guys an update on the abandoned cabin project. So the only problem is for like final reveal type photos of the walls and how nice it looks, I wanted to have everything like clean and in its place. But right now I'm dealing with a bunch of mouse issues. So I have to be really careful about cleaning and putting everything away. And it's a whole process that's going to take a bunch of time. So basically right now the cabin is pretty messy. It's not really in reveal state. I'm going to show you guys just how the walls look, how the art looks up. I know it's kind of a mess. And then I will get into building mouse traps is my next thing that I'm doing today, and fighting these friggin' mice. They're so cute. That's the worst part. They're so cute, and I had a lot of compassion for them. But after having them chew through my clothes and poop on my bed in the yurt, I have no more compassion. It's about to be River versus Mice 2025. But before I go to war, I'm going to show you how it looks on the inside. Obviously, it's not done, but I do feel like way more like this is my cabin. And I know someone in the comments could be like, but it's not your cabin, you don't own it. Okay, yeah, I know that. I don't mean in the property ownership sense. I mean in the energetic sense of like having my art up and a fresh coat of paint on everything. From an energetic sense, from a magical sense, it feels like I have sort of put up my wards around the walls, and then it also just feels way more homey in here. I am back at the yurt right now. I filmed another video about the Christmas presents that I got and that I bought for myself that improved my off-grid life. And I was gonna stick at that as a video, but of course that's its own video. It's long. I'm so wordy and long-winded. I could make like a 2-minute conversation into an hour-long video, and nobody wants that. So we're gonna end this video here. I'll probably put out 2 videos this week. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I am so incredibly grateful to all of y'all who have been following along on this journey, and there will be more soon. Bye. Are you a sweet little baby boy? Are you my baby? Why are you shaking? Why are you shaking, buddy? Huh?